Welcome to the Rise Podcast. Grateful you are jumping in, leaning in today. I want to share with you something that has been on my wife and I's minds, hearts. It's been a conversation topic lately. Today, at least the today that I'm recording this, probably not the today that it releases, but Maya just made a post kind of about this idea. And really the idea is real simple. And I think it's relatable whether you're young, maybe in your teens or 20s. I think it's relatable whether you're a little bit older. And here's the idea. Stop missing your life. Stop missing your life. We were having a conversation a couple of days ago about how easy it is to go from one season to the next. And because there are things that are unideal about this season, or because there's things you're so excited about in whatever's coming next, you're never really fully present, grateful, and in the moment and the season of your life that you're in. I'll give you just several examples that I think illustrate the point. You can wish your entire life away season by season, and it can go from, I can't wait until I get out of middle school, finish high school, get done with college, finally have a good long-term boyfriend or girlfriend, finally land my dream job, get married, make 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, get that promotion, get the next promotion, get my master's degree, write the book that I wanted to write, have our first kid finally sleep through the night, have our first kid finally not have diapers that I have to change every 30 seconds of the day, finally have a second child, finally have our kids out of the house and they're in school now, and finally you can wish all of these seasons of your life away. For example, we're in the stage of starting our church that honestly, it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. It's a lot of, it's the stuff that needs to get done before the stuff that you can see and the stuff that actually touches and impacts people needs to happen. Well, it's easy to say, well, man, I just can't wait to get to the part where we're actually, reaching people. God's moving through our church. And what you end up doing is, because there are negatives or struggles or even things about the next season that seem more exciting than this season, what you are unknowingly doing is wishing away your life. And here's the problem with that, is we only get one. We only get one ride, if you will. There's no getting off and getting back on. There's one ride. And candidly, there's no promise of, is yours going to be 34 years or 68 years or 105 years? I mean, we don't know. All we know is tomorrow's not promised. All we know is today. If you're here, if you're listening, if you're watching, if there's breath in your lungs, then you're still here. That means there's still something worth celebrating. Maybe you've been through something hard. Maybe life hasn't turned out the way you wanted. Maybe you're just in a hard season. I get that the temptation is, let me fast forward through this scene so I can get to the good scene. Here's the secret though. There's no such thing as the good scene, and there's actually no such thing as the bad scene. Even in the worst moments of our life, there's something redemptive that God is doing. And even in the best moments of our life, it's still not perfect. And I think the hack, if you will, the secret to enjoying life is that there are a few days, okay, I'll give you this. There are a few days in life that are objectively, hopefully awesome. The day you get married, the day you have your first child, the day you maybe start working the job you've been dreaming about and planning for years. And then there are some days that are just uniquely horrible. You lose a parent. That one really bad, memorably bad fight with a sibling or a friend. There are some moments that are just unequivocally horrific. But most of life is just normal days. Most seasons they're just normal seasons. There's good days in that season. There's hard days in that season. And what I want to really challenge you to do, what I've been kind of being challenged in this season for us to do, is just try to enjoy every season. Just try to enjoy every day. Time, it just kind of keeps ticking by at the same rate. There's nothing we can do to slow it down when we want to, if we really want to savor a moment. And there's nothing we can do to speed it up if we really want to get through a moment. All we can really do to maximize this life is to be purposeful, present, and grateful in every day of every season. And so maybe this pod is catching you in a day, in a season when you're like, man, this is just not my best. I'm not enjoying this. I wish I could get done with this. I wish this was going to be over soon. I feel you. I've been there. I'm just telling you, there will be a day when you look back and go, oh my gosh, remember that time, remember that season. There have been, in the 5 years that Maya and I have been married, just about 5 years, there have been even years. There hasn't been a single year that I would say this was a terrible year. But there was a couple years that were a little bit easier, and there's been a couple years that have been harder. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't trade any of the years. And I don't want to have the perspective of life if I just can't wait to get to the next thing, just because this thing is hard. And then on the other side, if you're in a great season, man, I just wish I could slow down time. And it's just such a fun season. I get that too. And that's amazing. That's beautiful. The truth is you can't. But what you can do is be so present right where you are. Take in that breath of gratitude of, man, thank you, God, that I'm with this person. Or maybe you're in a vacation in a really cool place. Thank you, God, that I'm in, for us, our favorite place we've ever been is Portugal. Thank you, God, that I'm in Portugal right now. You want to elongate those moments, but you can't. But what you can do is you can be totally, fully present in them to where you're getting the most you can out of them in the moment, and then you can actually remember them later. I want to say this too. It's important to have a vision for your future and excitement about your future and a drive to get to a better tomorrow. And it's even normal to have a healthy, just normal human dose of, yes, some seasons are just harder. You know, some of our best friends, actually, most of our best friends have little ones under a couple weeks and like just had kids, first or second, or not weeks, but months. Several of our best friends have had kids in the last few months. And there's an element of you're probably not sleeping the best, a lot of diapers to change, but I'll tell you this, I'm certain that what they would say is these are some of the sweetest moments of life. That doesn't mean you're a bad person if you say, man, I am going to be excited to catch up on some sleep. But it does mean you do what I think the goal of all of our life would be is I'm going to be as present in this moment, in this season, as I possibly can. So don't miss your life. You only get one. We get one of these things. Yes, some days are better. Yes, some seasons are easier. But there's a good God who is working every season, every day, every part of your life together for good. And I'm just telling you, a great way to live your life is to ask yourself this question. When I'm older, how can I not regret how I lived this season of my life? And I guarantee you one across the board answer that future you, 60-year-old you, 80-year-old you, 90-year-old you would give you is, man, just be present. Don't try to fast forward that thing. I know it's hard, but it's going to be worth living and getting the fullness out of. So I love you. Your life is a gift. It's a good gift from a good God. Even the hard parts are a good gift from a good God. He's working every part together for good. Let's slow down. Let's be purposeful. Let's live present every single day. And let's be grateful, man, for all the blessings in our life.